Hello, welcome back to Regulatory Affairs 101. I am Nancy. Today, we are diving into one of the most important foundations of global drug development, the ICHE series. If you work in clinical operations, regulatory affairs, biostatistics, or pharmacovigilance, these guidelines shape almost everything you do, from how trials are designed, to how safety is reported, to how data is analyzed and submitted. Let's walk through the key E guidelines and how they fit together across the drug development life cycle. The ICHE series provides a harmonized framework for clinical evidence generation across FDA, EMA, PMDA, and other ICH regions. These guidelines ensure consistency in trial methodology, safety reporting, and statistical approaches, and they support efficient multi-regional clinical trials, or MRCTs, which are essential for global submissions. E6 is the ethical and scientific backbone of clinical trials. E6R3, the modernization effort, emphasizes risk proportionate oversight, quality by design, and fit-for-purpose processes. It reinforces investigator responsibilities, monitoring expectations, essential documentation, and data integrity. EAR1 establishes principles for fit-for-purpose study design and introduces critical to quality factors, or CTQs, and QBD. These CTQs help teams focus on what truly matters for participant safety and reliable data. It also applies across all phases and therapeutic areas. E9 defines the statistical foundation of clinical trials. The E9R1 addendum introduces the estimates framework, which clarifies how treatment effects should be defined and analyzed, especially when intercurrent events occur. It also guides analysis set and bias minimization. E2A covers SAE and SUSA definitions and expedite reporting timelines. E2B-R3 modernizes ICSR, data elements, and electronic transmission standards, essential for global pharmacovigilance compliance. E3 defines the standardized structure of CSRs, ensuring clarity and consistency across global submissions. E5 provides the framework for bridging studies and addresses intrinsic and extrinsic ethnic factors. This guideline is key for global development strategies and MRCT planning. E10 outlines acceptable control types: placebo, active, historical, external, and dose response. It also addresses ethical considerations and regulatory acceptability. This guideline is frequently tested because control selection directly affects trial validity. E11R1 defines principles for pediatric development, including extrapolation, age-appropriate formulations, and ethical safeguards. It also supports global pediatric plans such as PIP and PSP. E1 defines minimum exposure requirements for chronic and acute indications to ensure an adequate safety database. E2CR2 provides the modernized format for periodic safety reporting and integrates benefit-risk evaluation. E2D guides spontaneous reports, literature surveillance, and follow-up, ensuring consistency in post-marketing safety operations. E7 addresses PKPD changes, comorbidities, and polypharmacy in older adults. It supports labeling and dosing recommendations. E12 defines principles for dose finding and dose response characterization, critical for phase 2-3 dose selection. E14 and S7B together define clinical and non-clinical expectations for proarrhythmic risk, including thorough QT studies and integrated risk assessment. There are 5 themes that cut across the entire ICHE series. These aren't concepts. They are the backbone of modern clinical development. Let's look at 2 of them: quality by design and patient safety. Quality by design appears prominently in E8R1 and E6R3. It means identifying critical to quality factors, CTQs, early and applying risk proportionate monitoring to protect participants and ensure fit-for-purpose data. QBD ensures that quality is built into the study from the start. Patient safety runs through the entire E2 series. E2A defines expedited reporting requirements. E2B-R3 standardizes global ICSR formats. E2C and E2D reinforce continuous benefit risk evaluation throughout the product life cycle. Together, these guidelines ensure that safety is proactively managed. Next, let's look at other cross-cutting themes. E9 sets the foundation for statistical integrity. The estimates framework clarifies how treatment effects should be defined and analyzed, especially when intercurrent events occur. It also guides missing data handling and bias minimization. E5 supports global harmonization by addressing ethnic factors and enabling bridging strategies. This reduces duplication and accelerates global development essential for MRCTs. E11 R1 ensures pediatric development is aligned across regions, supporting extrapolation, age-appropriate formulations, and ethical safeguards. Now let's bring everything together across the submission life cycle. For IND CTA stage, E6 defines investigator responsibilities and monitoring plans. E8 supports study design justification. E9 provides the SAP framework. E14 guides early QT risk strategy. NDA BLA MAA stage. E3 defines CSR structure. E1 ensures safety database adequacy. E2BR3 requires ICSR compliance. E2CR2 aligns periodic benefit risk reporting. Post-approval stage. E2D supports ongoing safety surveillance. E2CR2 defines periodic reporting. And E11 maintains pediatric commitments. Across early development, marketing applications, and post-approval, the ICH-E series provides the backbone for clinical evidence generation, safety reporting, and regulatory consistency. If you like the content of this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.